welcome to the second meeting. And I think that our first meeting was success, and I think that we continue in the same way. And then I'd like to introduce our, I can't say the new members, but also our senior members. And I'm very glad that we get 4 XCOM people, that they have time to come to here and talk with us. At first, I'd like to introduce Joram Arstein. So are you here? Would you like to wave your hands that we can also see you? Shalom, Joram, Manishma. I'm not sure is he here.
He's here.
I'm here. I'm okay.
So
hello
nice
everybody. Sorry, my microphone was closed. So welcome to the second meeting of UACHAK.
So, and how do you feel now? What are you waiting for our meeting?
I prefer to listen and to learn about the activities of other people around the globe, around Europe, about especially I would like to have information about disabled people in all kinds of branches of sports. That's what interesting me.
Thank you. So Joram is in Israel, and now we go to Netherlands. Henk Bochum, welcome.
Yes, good evening. Henk Bochum here from the Netherlands. Well, I know your introduction was so kind, Arno. Now I feel really old. I have already gray hair, but I really like to be among young people and to work together in this meeting. And I really hope that it is even more successful than the last meeting. So I'm looking forward for inspiration, for your ideas, and well, let's see what's coming out. I'm curious.
Thank you. And then may I introduce our new XCOM member, George Michel. So you are also here somewhere. Please say something that we can see your face. Oh.
So, good evening, everybody. I'm also sports director with CSIT. I have already more than 26-year experience within CSIT, and especially in martial arts. I don't practice so long martial arts, only 52 years, so I have a little bit experience. But I'm very curious about the meaning of all those youngsters. Just like Henk said, he seems like to be old. Maybe you see it on my gray beard, that's no problem. But I'm very curious about the meaning of all the youngsters, because all the youngsters, that are the people for the future. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, George. And then last but not least, our General Secretary, Wolfgang Burkhardt. So hello, Austria, how are you?
Hello, Arno, and everybody. I'm fine. I'm in lockdown, but I'm in my office, locked down. Well, I'm alone here, so this is nice and quiet.
Okay.
Well, I'm very interested to hear new ideas. So we have started our brainstorming. We have established some strategies. Yes, and well, I'm very interested, and I hope to get an inspiration for the future. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, these are our, how can I say, new members in here, but then we also have our old group here. And at once, I'd like to take just a few minutes to ask that, are you here? So please, when I say your name, just put your mic on and your camera on if you haven't, say hello, and that's enough. So that's why I'd really like to know who are here and who we can see and who we can hear. So Alba. is Alba here?
Hello, I'm here.
Nice to see you. Then Nea, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
And Nika?
Nika is absent. She is sick, so she won't be here with us today.
Okay. Stefania?
Hi, good evening.
And Pau?
I'm here. Hi, everyone.
And then Francesco?
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Roger?
Hello, good evening.
And Evelina?
Hi.
Patricia?
Hi, everybody.
And then I think that Maria is in work right now. Ignasi?
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all again.
And then Taija?
Hi, I'm also here again.
And then Kristiina?
Hi. Yeah.
Carlo?
Hi, hello.
And then Paula? Is Paula here?
I'm here.
Okay, Paula, yes. Jesus?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, and then Mick? Mick,
Yes,
are you there?
hello.
Nice to see you. Riku? Is Riku here? Okay. And
Yes,
then on Riku, you are here. Maiju?
Maju cannot make it today.
Okay. And Zrinka?
Hello, I'm here.
Elisa?
Hello.
And Javier?
Javier is not with us today.
Okay. And then I'd like to ask Joan, you are also here. Nice to see you. And then I ask Mick that would you like to introduce your team, because I'm not sure who are here and do we have any new members?
Yes, of course. Remy is here. Remy, can you say something?
Hey everyone, nice to meet you.
Yeah, Remy is from football club, Kalev. And so I guess we have here Gunnar. Gunnar is from track and field club. Say, Gunnar, can you say hi?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here, yes.
Yeah, no picture. But so I guess is Angelina and Georg here?
Yeah. Hey.
Hello. And Georg?
Yep, good evening, everybody.
Hello. So, Anu, all are here.
Sounds good. Okay, let's start. Now I give the stage to Cosimo. Was it so?
Yeah, now we have the presentation of the results at national level, because national level in these weeks, our young leaders have met their grassroots sport organization members in order to collect information and insights into the activities in the field of disability and innovative sport. So I think that we can proceed in alphabetic order, and I ask to AICS to present the results. I recommend you to consider 5 minutes maximum to present these results. Thank you. So AICS, who is the representative, who is going to present the results, and then after is going to prepare Kalev.
Okay, hi. So I'm going to present you our result, but can I just share my slides with you?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay, just a second. Okay, can you see them?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, so. Okay, this was what came out from our meeting last week. So innovative sports and inclusion, what about Italy? We analyzed 2 sports and 1 project of inclusion. And the first sport we analyzed is sand basket that was invented in 2013 by Gianpaolo Perfidia and then recognized in 2018 by IACS. Although it was invented in Italy, it spread around Europe really fast. So we can find teams also in France, Denmark, Spain, and Greece, but not being recognized by FIP and FIBA doesn't permit to organize international tournaments. The field is obviously made of sand, since it's called sand basket, and it has some specific characteristics, like the field is 12 meters for 20, and the basket is a bit shorter than the one in the normal basketball because it's 2 meters and 90 for the senior categories, that is from 11 years old on, and 2 meters 40 for the junior categories. The players are 4 for each team, and the timing is set. They're like 4 periods of 6 minutes each for senior categories and 4 periods of 4 minutes each for junior categories. So the main rules are based on those of traditional basketball, but sand basket has some unique features, like no lines on the inside of the field because the playing court doesn't have any line. Landmarks are set by changing color on the outline, as you can see in the picture on side. And obviously on the sand, the ball can't bounce, so there is no bouncing, but just dragging. The dribbling action consists in dragging the ball on the ground with one hand, as you can see in the picture on the side. The second sport we talked about is obstacle course race, also known as OCR, and it has been recognized from IACS in April 2018. This sport is also known around the world as a Spartan race, so it was not a recent invention, but it just has to be, it just has brand to Italy, and its main feature are the length that can vary from 1 to 21 kilometers, and around the path are put obstacles that there are almost endless possibilities for this, and possibilities can change according to the abilities. Some obstacles that we can find are monkey bars, weights to be carried, or mud paths to be crossed. But not having a common regulation makes it difficult to organize a competition cup made of more than one race, but several competitions have been organized in Italy, and some of them counted more than 4,000 participants. The one you can find above are the word of Gabriele Capasso, that is the national coordinator of ICS and OCR. Everyone can take part to OCRs calibrated on their abilities. Beside of winning, the greatest satisfaction is to get to the end. Obviously, this race is really hard, it's really tough, but getting to the end is the greatest satisfaction for everyone that takes part. Our project of inclusion is Inclusion Throughout Karate, and this project was carried out by Roberto Bacchilega, that is ACS Karate National Coordinator since 1996. And in 2009, he decided to take his teaching activity a step forward, and he decided to include athletes with mental disabilities such as autism in his trainings. Obviously, it had some difficulties, like finding a way to communicate and establish a connection with each of these kids that have special needs, but with the help of psychologists and experts, he found the way to connect with them, to talk with them. And in a year of training, every kid had increased communication skills and developed motricity schemes. So this is a really outstanding result. And so this project was to point out how the sports are important for kids with special needs, because through sport, they find a new way of expressing themselves and then creating relations with the environment. This is for all, and thank you for your attention from all of us from Team Italy.
Thank you, Paola.
perfectly in the 5 minutes. Very clear, your presentation. So I think that before I said in alphabetic order and I said Kalev, but I think it's H before K. So anyway, I said Kalev. So Kalev, you can present your results, and after HLA is going to prepare after.
Okay, I'm share the screen with you.
Angelina, I think that you have some connection problem.
Connection problem, okay.
Yeah, let's see now, okay. It seems to be good now.
Just
No, I think that we have some connection problem.
Can I help, Angelina?
Yeah, I guess.
We can see the screen.
Yeah.
You can see the screen.
Yeah, we have
and
the
you
screen
can...
now.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we did the interview with the person who does starts a sports club, a lot about disability sports. And we asked her a few questions, and here are the answers. So our questions were mostly about the financial part because, yeah, you know, attractive sports is good, but it's not enough. The question was how much money they get from the government to develop sports. And here's her answer that a lot of money goes to the club that are big and well promoted, but not enough money goes to the small clubs. What is bad, and that is not doesn't let them develop more, and they have not enough money to develop their project. And so solution could be suggested that government would make a certain tax, and each club gets a certain amount of money, so everybody would just be okay with the amount of money they get, and they know that they will get enough to develop the project. So we asked her about development in 10 years for the clubs, and she said that she hopes that we'll get more active people to involve them in sports, and they will be more interested in sports, because in Estonia we have such problem that people here are a bit passive, and not everybody, not even bigger part of us, are interested in sports. So the next question was about disability in sports, and as we understood, those questions are I don't know, are most about Paralympic Committee. So clubs do not do anything that includes Paralympic sports development or whatever. So all the projects are about Paralympic Committee. And this Paralympic Committee has opened the doors for some of their athletes to join ordinary sports as well. And the idea is to popularize athletics, because some of our people do athletics. The biggest problem is that we are lack of marketing in clubs and sport clubs, and of course you have to popularize any sport or any project with that, and to attract new people, young people to do sports. And the current plan is to hold events and hope. So I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Angelina. Now you can exit from the presentation. I think that this question could be used also after our intergenerational dialogue. Angelina, you can stop your share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then, so it's time for HLA.
Hi.
For your presentation.
Yes, I'll be presenting the Health Life Academy presentation. Let me just share the screen.
Yeah.
Just quickly. Just 1 second. It's like this, I think. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Let me just check from the top. Or okay. So we are at Health Life Academy Association do more or less a lot of things with including people with disabilities, a little less for inclusive sports. We are in association with a lot of companies, a lot of associations who deal with people with disabilities who are in sports. Those are basically all of our partners are related to that part. And we do, as I said, a lot of projects, but I would like to emphasize two of those, what we do now. The first one is our own project. It's called Special Power League. So basically, we are connecting football and handball clubs. We are creating like a football and handball league for children with disabilities. So we connected like all first teams from Croatian Football League. They established like a special team inside their clubs, and they are doing like training exercises for children with disabilities. By children with disabilities, there's a huge marginalization. We include both people with autism, with Down syndrome, with I don't know. There are lots of these. It's a very large scale of disabilities, and we include all of them. And we include them by connecting clubs with educational centers, with associations who deal with people with disabilities. And the basic idea of the project is to motivate those children to actively integrate into society by playing sports, by playing football, by being part of the club they support. So this is our own project, who has been running for like 2 years now. It has been increased even far more than just Croatia. We have initiated something in Serbia, in Bosnia, and we hope to to spread and make this a European league one day. That's one project we're dealing with regarding disabilities, and the other one is these are the clubs and everything, all the associations, and the other one is Team Up, where we kind of want to improve the access to mainstream sports for persons with disabilities, and we would like to connect young people with children with disabilities to play together in mainstream sports. And all of these activities are always supported by either some symposiums on the topics of disabilities or on topics of obesity or something that is currently currently popular and actual themes. Rather than that, we created through the Team Up project, we also created an individual educational program for children with disabilities, since we noticed that we cannot approach each child the same way because of the disability, because the disability is different. So we established an individual educational program that provides information and guides teachers and trainers and associates to work with those children with disabilities, and to help them through their education and involvement in sports. And that's like the basic thing we do from this project, and that's it from Health Life Academy. For the future things, we also wanted to include in our inclusive projects, want to include also cultural aspects, and elderly people as well. And that's what I would like to discuss on our intergenerational dialogue as well. Okay.
Yeah, that's good, Christian.
This is our from our meeting, and thank you.
Okay, thank you too. And thanks for your sharing. And now I think that the floor goes to TUL.
Yeah, just a minute. I will share the screen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so a lot of projects in disability field for HLA. Let's see now, TUL. Yeah, very well, very well.
Yeah, good. So in TUL, we interviewed Harry Sadler, who is in TUL's Equality Committee. Harry is from Itä-Häkkilän Kilpa, which is one of the sport clubs, and he leads few disability groups which have people from 16 years older to like 50 or something. So there's like a big age gap in there, and there's a lot of questioning for also like children's groups. But we were talking about that, and Harry told us there just isn't enough leaders for that, because most of the leaders who want to be part of the like leading sports, they want to like competitions and go higher and things like that. And right now, Harry is trying to figure out how to improve TUL's disability sports, because that is still a field where we are not so strong in TUL. And we were actually supposed to meet with Harry in few weeks in an event, but because of this situation, the event is partly cancelled. But Eva is going to tell you more about this.
Yeah, I think it's the same, that we are not in the exactly the same level in TUL, which are in the maybe in other countries or other clubs. So the disabled sports in TUL and in Finland in general are mostly like individual things. They are not like any organization or organizing things, only like in certain clubs. But we have few in TUL, so Itä-Häkkilän Kilpa, we have disabled football and floorball, and Haukiputaan Heitto is famous for their electric wheelchair floorball. And in here Tampere, where I'm doing gymnastics and also coaching, we have this Minetit Specials group, which is like for disabled, autism, Down syndrome, rhythmic gymnastics for those, and it's very popular here. I think the group has almost 20 gymnasts in there, but it's not in the same level yet, but we want to get there. And next we have the innovative sports with, I think, Taya and Christina.
Yeah, so I will tell that we have MamaNet that we got through CSIT. So it's created in Israel, and we have had Anu and Riku who brought it here, and we have partnered with FIMU, who is Finnish multicultural sport organization, and together organize tournament, educational training, and also translate the rules into Finnish. Right now there is 8 or 9 MamaNet groups in Helsinki metropolitan area, and one of them is TUL Sport Club Kirkkonummen Urheilijat, and we try to get more and more. Right now there is only little, but we are trying to get more, and also we have a goal to have a Finnish MamaNet team participate in CSIT World Games, and yeah, so it's going bigger and bigger, but it's not there yet, like other countries are bigger. And that's it.
So thank you, Christina. Your presentation is, so QL presentation is finished, I guess.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nia. Thank you. And thank you for your report. Yeah, we know very well Mamanet. Last year we practiced too, together with Joram and Henk and all the former participants. So it will be, of course, always a topic for CSIT Mamanet. Now, the last presentation, but not the least, from USEC.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Roger.
I'm going to share the screen. Okay. Could you see what?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so after the meeting that we had with our USEC boards and leaders, these are the conclusions that we take, in this case in Catalonia. That we are going to present, me and Jesus are going to present these conclusions. Well, our innovative sport, it's paddle tennis. We think that the best way to show what is paddle is with a video that Joan Well, Ignasi, Jesus, and me have just played for you. So it's an exhibition that we have played. You can see that we are really good players in the paddle. So what is paddle, for that didn't know? It's a racket game, a racket sport. It is played in pairs, 2 persons versus 2. It basically consists of bouncing the ball in the opposite field with the possibility of bouncing off the balls. The opposite players must return the ball with 1 stroke with a maximum of 1 bounce to hit it. Why do we think that it's innovative and it's interesting, this sport? Because nowadays it's an economical activity. You can have 1 field for about 16 euros, and you have to pay for in 4 persons. It's a sport which basically you can socialize. In addition to keep fit, you have also to play with 4 persons. So normally it's with some of your friends. And it's the most important, when you finish the match, you can go for a drink, for having just a quick meeting with them. So it's the way to socialize in nowadays. And the most important thing for us is the young people, old people, males and females. Everybody can play, also together, or also with pairs of females or males. So now I give the step to Jesus.
Okay, so when it comes to dealing with adapted sports at USEC, we do it from 2 different angles. On the one hand, the events and competitions of adapted sport for people with disabilities, where we practice different sports and modalities special for disabled people. These competitions are classified according to the level of difficulty presented by the by the activities, in 3 different levels. The low level of difficulty, which is open to everyone. The medium level of difficulty, which it's possible to participate with some adaptations of the regulations, and the high level of difficulty, which the participation requires and standardized monitoring of the game. On the other hand, we have the competitions and the events that we believe are the future, which are the inclusive ones. In this, people who have disability participate together with people who don't present any disability in the same categories, and always, of course, with their possibilities and with some adaptations in the regulations. These adaptations can be for difficulty, the participations, or facilitated. For example, the limitation of special zones in file, which only can enter people with disabilities, or the regulation of participants in each team. So they practice sport all together. In both cases, we try to involve the other social agents, such as schools, families, and sport clubs for the organization of these files, for the organization of these events. to all offer the best sports experience. Here, you can see a recompilation of different competitions we planned for the last season in this regard.
Okay. Jesus?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so you have finished. Okay, I didn't understand. Okay, thank you for your presentation. So now we can say that we have listened a lot of activities and also information dealing with the national level in these two fields of sport. So now we are going to skip on the next activity of this meeting, that is the intergenerational dialogue. That we can say it's a standard of our UACA methodology. And as you know, Henk and Joram have sent to us, and we have uploaded 2 videos dealing with the innovative and demonstrative sports in CSIT, and the sports for people with disability in UPWEL, that is the organization for which Joram can. And so now the objective is to have an exchange through questions among CSIT senior leaders and CSIT young leaders. And through this discussion, through your questions, that can be from young leaders to senior leaders, and the opposite, from senior to young leaders, we have to get to come out with some insights, with some useful information that will be our guidelines when we are going to design the project ideas in these 2 fields. So this is the introduction of our activity. So now I ask for your collaboration, because we are going to create 2 groups. One group is stay here in the main room, and the other group that will receive the invitation to join the participation of to the group has to click on accept invitation. So after the first 15-20 minutes, the senior leaders of the groups will receive a request to change the group, so that each group can do questions and dialogue with all the leaders. So Henk, George, Wolfgang, and Joram. It's seen quite hard, but I hope that everything can work better practicing this thing. Then we have our peer trainers that are Mick and Alba, and Francesco and Taya, that will help to coordinate the discussion. So we'll coordinate the group discussions. At the end, so we will have 40 minutes, overall 40 minutes for this discussion. So now I go to create the group. Please, if you have questions, write or ask, but now for the one that will receive the invitation to participate to the group, please click on accept. So now so Roberto, can you help me in this process, please? Okay, so now we have Alba and Nick. The group are, of course, by chance, so they are mixed in this case. And we're going to do like this. Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, let's try like this. So, are you receiving the request to participate?
Yes, I receive.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you can join your group. So I think that. So this is now the group dealing with disability, and we are going to talk with Georges Michel and Yoram, of course. So you are here. And the peer trainers that will coordinate the group will be Francesco and Taya. So let's start the discussion. So I give the floor to Francesco and Taya.
Okay, guys. You want to go first? Taya, ladies first, or should I start?
You can start.
Okay. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Basically, it's not going to be me, the one who will keep the discussion alive. I hope it's going to be the participants, but let's say that we can just like give it a kick to start. Well, first of all, we're dealing with disability, and we have Yoram here and George, who are more than expert and more than able to answer all of your questions. First, if you have like any question you personally want to ask them, you're more than welcome.
Yes, remember that this is like an open conversation, so you're always free to ask.
Well, same thing for you, Yoram and George. If you have questions to the young leaders, please ask.
Yeah.
I'm ready to answer questions, please.
Okay.
Good.
I can tell
okay.
All the listeners.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Because in Hapoel we are very experienced with dealing with adults, disabled people, especially in sport. The most difficult thing to deal with disability in sport is to get the information about who are and where they are and what they are, the disabled people who want to make sport and who want to participate. The most difficult thing is to have an information about the disability potential. And even we have a connection with our big union, Histadrut, it's very difficult to gather information about disabled people. And most of the efforts of Hapoel is, first of all, to collect information where they are, who they are, and what they need. In our country, Hapoel has 14 non-governmental bodies which deal with sport for union employees, etc. And even we have a lot of connections, it's impossible and it's very difficult to get an information about disabled people. This is the first and very severe problem.
Okay. And how do you engage the people in sport, the disabled people? Once you find the disabled people, how do you engage them?
We made it in two platforms. First of all, the connections with our teams, you know, all branches of sport teams. And the other platform is the employee and you know, all organizations, you know, public and private, we have a connection with them. I don't know if you know, but we have in Israel activity of 24,000 people who are making working place sport activities. So through those connections, we have succeeded to get connection with these other people who want to participate with the special activities we are making for them. For example, all over Israel, we have a connection, and we promote and we help to tandem bicycle athletes. And we had something about 350 people all over Israel, which we support their activity with tandem. As you know, I don't know if you know, tandem is two people who is riding on the same bicycle. One is blind, and the other is the person who helped him to make his activities. So this is one of the most important activities with disabled people. But we have a lot of branches of sport like bowling, like swimming, like running, and because we have those floating non-governmental bodies, we have all over Israel connections with those bodies, and they seek and they try and they are making efforts to find those disabled people, and they call them out. They call them out to make sport activity. The most important is to find what is the best way, because you know you have a lot of problems to all those people: mental, cognitive mental problems, physical problems, economic problems, etc. So it's very complicated to find one group and to make them something equal for all of them. But because we have a lot of volunteers all over Israel, we can erect and support those disabled people to participate in sport activities. We see these activities not as a sport activity, but a social activity. And it's a social problem, because most of the people who are disabled, if they are walking, after work they are going back directly home, and we take them out to make sport. And some of them who do not work do not get out from their home. So we have the connection with the municipality or municipalities to take them out from the welfare department with the help of the welfare department of the municipality. So this is a very, very, very big activity we are making in about €500,000 we invest in those activities.
Okay, that's interesting. Any questions so far?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, let's go.
So, Yoram, you said that the most difficult thing is to have information, and
yes.
My question is, okay, information before the participation, but do you have any feedback from the participant in these sports after the participation? I mean, how do they feel? What does this practice bring to them?
We adjust our activity according to the opinions we get from those athletes. You know, because you know the problem to adjust for everybody one activity is very difficult, because, for example, if we want to create a new group of 15 people, everybody has his problem to come to the place of the activity. He has to prepare himself at home. There are a lot of problems. sure, we had an information, we collect information inside our 14 non-governmental bodies. We have an information. For example, if we create bowling activity, so everybody who finishes work in 1:30 in the midday, yes, we ask him if he wants to go to this bowling activity, and after the bowling activity, we ask him if it's okay by him, what does his family create, what does his family is doing after he's coming. We have all the information, because without information, it's like shooting with closed eyes. We have a lot of information, and we have some information, I think, every 3 months, we collect information. That's it.
Okay,
Do
thank
you
you.
want to say something, George?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a lot of experience with disabled people, and certainly within the martial arts sports. But you have to approach, it's very important, you have to approach these people normally, because they are disabled, but they always remain people with also feelings like everyone else. And also very, very important is to have a good connection with the supervisors. It means they have also a big, you have to give also attention to the supervisors, what they told you about the people. And certainly in martial arts sports, it's very difficult, but you don't know how happy we are to have reply from them. That's very important. That's the thing I want to say about it. Never forget, they are disabled people, but they are people with feelings like anyone else, like everybody. If you have that in your mind, you're on the right way, you can go further in the right way.
Thank you, George. I think there was another question before Jesus.
Yeah, I can go on.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for this introduction. It is super interesting. And my question would be like, what, I mean, you have explained that the organization of these competitions like attract a lot of people. And what would be your recommendation to make these competitions attractive also in our countries?
I can tell you that in Israel, the most important thing that disabled people want is to make activities with a regular athlete. And we share for example, we share our Sportiada. We make a 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer running. The disabled people, blind people, are participating together with a healthy athlete. In swimming, the same. We made a special row for disabled, but they are going together to the swimming pool, and they get everything like everybody. The same in Tandam. We have a mountain bike, and they are going to make a mountain bike together with the regular athletes. So I think most important is to make the activities together. Although in Tandam, you know, every blind people have to have another partner, another volunteer who is going with him to bike. But although there is a volunteer, they want to share the atmosphere. They want to share the togetherness and to be together with all other athletes.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I would just like to add what Mr. Georges said before about the importance of their emotions and their overall inclusion, not such as competition. I think that regarding inclusion of children with disabilities, the most important thing is actually the participation, and to have that feeling of belonging somewhere, and the result shouldn't be the most important thing in that whatsoever. And by including them as equals in with other children as well, and I think that's the best impact we can have from inclusion, to have like some activities that join both children with and without disabilities together. That's just what I wanted to say for that.
I want to reply on this. It's very important because here in my region, in Belgium, we have also several schools and agencies with disabled people, which we organize some sports days together with normal people. And if you do that, you see a very fantastic integration you give to the disabled people. Because for me, okay, they are disabled people, but for me, it's not a disabled people. For me, it's a normal being with something wrong. It's a little bit different. You have to see this in this perspective. That's a normal being, but something wrong with that people. And if you can anticipate on this, you know, it's fantastic to join and to sports with them. Take it from me, yes. Very important.
Yes, of course, I agree completely. But I think the benefit from it is both ways, because both children, let's say without disabilities, also like it's raising their awareness about those children who are around them. They're like very near, and for the moment they're not adequately knowable to them. And I think our job should be to make them more visible to the society, and to just to make them more visible, to let other people know that there's human beings as well. They deserve equal, and that they should have equal opportunity to participate into society through sports and through other things as well.
Yes, yes, you're right. Because one thing is very important, I think. The adult people, they see the difference, but the youngest people normally they act normally. They don't see, for them, they don't see a big difference. It's only the adult people who see the difference. And that with the integration and to work together, you're gonna see we have one big family to do it. I'm enthusiastic. Always when I on the judo tatami with disabled girls, men, all people, I'm glad, I'm enjoying it. Take it for real, yes.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think that the first 20 minutes are past, so I think that we can switch the groups, and so George and Yoram, you will receive request to participate to the group, to a breakout room is called it. So I will send you.
Cosimo.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but I have a low battery and I have to leave this meeting. So I want to thank everybody. It was a pleasure, and I am available to answer any question you have or other group has about supporting these able people in sports activity. It's very important for us.
Okay.
Thanks, Yoram.
Thank you,
So
Yoram.
thank you very much, and see you next meeting.
Yeah, see you, Yoram. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
So, George, I will send you the invitation to join the breakout room there. Let me see. Okay. Have you received the invitation? Okay. So I go in the other group. 1 second. Can we just? Okay.
What we can do here is we are depending on the national member unions. Yeah, because only national member unions have direct contact with single athletes. Of course, via all our platforms, we are disseminating, we are promoting these new sports. And if someone is interested, some responsible person of a national union of CSIT is interested, we of course are creating the link between the creator of the new sports and this national federation. So, and of course we are promoting this on the web page, social media, etc. Okay.
Hi everyone, sorry to interrupt you. As you see, there is George Michel in this group because it's time to switch the group. So I asked Wolfgang and Henk to click on leave room, so to start the discussion in the other group with the other guys. And Anu, I would like to say that Yoram left us. So there is only George Michel for disability. And I come back there to follow the group. See you, so you can leave the room 6:35, okay? See you there, bye-bye. Wolfgang, click
I
on...
have two options now, to leave the meeting or to leave the breakout session.
Breakout room, room, yeah, perfect.
And start now.
Yeah. Hi, Wolfgang.
Yeah. So again, this is an open conversation. So does anyone have any questions now to Wolfgang or Henk?
Obviously about innovative sports, I guess.
Yeah, and maybe demonstrative.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Hi. Can I start?
What you can ask?
Yes, please.
Hi, Henk and Wolfgang. Nice to see you again.
Hello.
I have one question about the demonstrative sports that you have talked in your video, Henk. Should or may the demonstrative sports have to be something new, or could maybe be something traditional?
Sorry, Roger. Actually, both. It can be both. It can be totally new. You pick something from tennis and from swimming, you join it, and we make swimming on the floor of the swimming pool. New sport. But it can also be a kind of tryout from a technical commission about a new discipline, and we are trying to find the best regulations for becoming a CCT championship. So it can be organized as a demonstrative sport, so it is not a CCT championship, but just everyone can try it. You can join it and play, and maybe together we decide in a meeting, well, this is the best sports to bring into a CCT championship. Okay, and it can be also lead to a new technical commission or even a new discipline for an existing technical commission. Yes? I think you have an idea already, Roger.
Something in mind, but we will see.
Well, Roger, maybe too late now.
Yeah.
Roger, you can ask Jesus to combine swimming in spinning in the swimming pool. So this is.
Jesus is not here. Sorry.
No, oh no, Jesus is here. Yes. Okay, Jesus, this is a brilliant opportunity. So be creative in the things you, and when you have the idea that it has potential to become more than just a tryout in Tortosa. You make your regulations and you can bring it to the World Sport Games as a demonstrative sport, and present it to the people who are there, to the organizations who are there, invite them to play with you and see how the reception is of the sports. And of course there's a tryout, but you never know. Every sport was developed at one certain moment.
Of course, it's interesting.
Yeah, why not? And be glad that we have the World Sport Games and the framework of the World Sport Games to make it possible that these kind of initiatives can be launched in an international platform.
What do you think, Henk, are the characteristics of a new sports that best suit like CSID, or what you look for when you look at new sports?
Of course, I was thinking already, Francesco, that you were also in the other group, because it's almost the same question. I really think that when you introduce reading a book as a sport, that it is not interesting for any other organization to say, okay, well, there's a new sport, reading a book, and no, I think something should be there. It should be attractive. It should be fun. It can be played by young and by old people, by elderlies, as family sports. So actually, it's your plan which make your sport so attractive to present it in an international platform or an international stage. And maybe it should be also a sport like walking football. I think you have heard of it. It's a special sport for elderly. Yeah. It is just at the moment. I think it was a tryout. I think in the sports for elderly event during the World Sport Games. But at this point, it is not a discipline in our football technical commission. But it can be, of course. Yes. And we also talked in the technical commission basketball about a new initiative. Yes, about what was it?
Sand basketball.
Yeah, sand basketball by ITS. But you remember the discussion we had with you as TC member about your initiative about the very attractive sports about tricks and whatever.
I had a nice talk with let's say the inventor of the sport, and we are working on it.
You're working on it, but it is possible to make the tryout and see it as a demonstrative sport or even as a discipline in your disciplines which you are covering already in your technical commission. But I really think when sports, it's nice to see, nice to practice, maybe easy to practice. So there's low level, not technical, very difficult. It can be a very good start as a sport. And of course, by being a demonstrative sport, it can be also developed based on the experience you have during the World Sport Games. Now, this was not working. There were other ideas from other unions. Let's make it different. Let's make a change in it by changing the regulations or by adding an extra goal or whatever. Yes. So actually, the floor is yours to develop the sport even in a better way than it is already developed by yourself or so.
Sure.
So the sky is the limit, Francesco.
Yeah. Any opinions about that, Wolfgang?
Yes. For instance, beach wrestling. It started once as demonstrative sports, and meanwhile it's in the official program of the CSID World Sports Games in the Wrestling Technical Commission. Well, and we have seen in general, Francesco, that beach games, well, people like beach games. So there are many, in general, there are many athletes and there are many spectators as well. So I like the idea in general to develop kind of beach festival too, like let's say beach handball, beach volleyball, beach wrestling, beach basketball, and all these kind of beach sports. So this is This is my idea, what we should think about also for the future. And in Cervia and Cesenatico next year, there is a lot of beach with very nice sand. So this sounds very interesting to me.
Yeah, sounds fun. And Christian, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to add on Roger. He earlier mentioned innovative or traditional sports. We were actually thinking when we had that national dialogue with our senior leader, by demonstrative sports, we think that since CSIT and the World Sport Games not only include sports but the cultural aspect as well, I think an idea what should be considered is to make like some kind of mutual sport that combines multiple cultural or traditional sports. I don't know. We have lots of traditional sports here in Croatia. I suppose in Italy, Austria, everybody has their own traditional sports, which can be, you know, combined like some kind of a triathlon or I don't know, five sports, like combining them into one sport, which can be, you know, applied as and in like unified rules or something, and make a unified sport out of it, or like combine sports into one. That's just some of our ideas that we covered in our meeting. So I would like just to point it out and maybe discuss it a little bit.
Christian, do you mean a kind of estafette of different sports?
Yeah, it's like we already have the triathlon, like when you have the running, the swimming, and the biking. And I don't know, since we are exchanging cultures as well, and we would like to include both young and elderly, and the usual thing is that elderly people know more about traditional sports than young people, so maybe that can be a connection as well. We can have like a full package out of it, and that would be very interesting, both to learn about the culture, to participate in some new, for us, new sports, to exchange traditions as well, and maybe make some adjustments as well to, I don't know, maybe make it work on the sand as well. And let's go even further, make it inclusive for children with disabilities also. Why not? Mm-hmm. We have some very nice sports which are not difficult to play, which can be very interesting, and, you know, also applicable for both children with and without disabilities. So that's just some suggestions I had in mind.
Well, it's a kind of overall sport, so you can say sports without borders and sports for everyone, or not?
Yeah, I think it needs a little bit of discussion about which sports should be included, since there are a lot of cultures. I think it's impossible to include such many traditional sports, but let's say 5 to 6 sports traditional, like there are like 6 partners of us. Let's say each partner has one main traditional sport that they can put out from their brochure of traditional sports and present it as their own, and we each present our traditional sport and then make like one overall sport out of it or something like that. I think that would be nice, because it will not only make a sport impact, and it will also make a cultural impact as well, and it will include elderly people as well, since we will need their help in this topic as well, especially in this period with the pandemic, when the elderly people did become like a vulnerable group in our society as well. So it's kind of like a mix of everything.
Well, I really like the idea, Christian, but think about it and make some sentences on paper. What could be possible? And of course, when you don't start in creating something, you will never have a result of. So, well, I really like the idea, and I think such things should be possible to develop within the framework of CSIT, and even presented in the international platform again. So, and I really think I really like also the idea of bringing cultures together, because we know this is actually the opposite of war. Yes, this is more creating long life friendships with people. So this is really, I think, also the aim of CZT.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Thank you.
Wolfgang, can you add something?
Well, I always take the technical point of view here. With new sports in CSIT, we mean especially sports which are not in the official program of sports. So we have around 16, 17 sports disciplines like athletics, football, etc. And with new sports, we mean additional sport. This could also mean that this is completely an innovative sport or also an so-called old traditional sports discipline. So we are very open for all kind of those ideas and want to provide there a platform. This new kind of sports, we are also promoting then via all our platforms we have, like social media or web page or newsletter or CSIT magazine. So this is what we can do from our sides. And well, of course, it's very interesting if one new sports will make the step to become a sports on international level. So here at the CSIT World Sports Games, you can test it, and then you can receive immediately a response from the people there, and you can see the interest and if there is a potential for the future. Thanks.
Well, our friends from Spain, sorry, from Catalonia. What is your idea, Jesus? Can I give you the floor?
Yeah. Well, my idea, I think I'm really agree with Christian in the sense of that. For example, it's possible that one day in the World Sport Games, each country or each organization present their traditional sports to know about culture of their country, because in our experience in Tortosa, for example, is that each organization have different cultures, and sport is part of our culture. So maybe it's interesting that for knowing each country or each organizations, they prepare some traditional sports, as Christian said, and they present to other organizations and participants.
So as I saw in Catalonia, the man-built towers, is that typical Catalonia?
Yeah, of course. For example, it could be possible for us to develop I don't know, some workshop or something to show to teach other countries a simple way to do human castles as part of traditional activity in Catalonia.
Well, so yeah. So that is possible to do it in a safe way, because when it is 20 meters high, the Catalonians for sure are used to build such high towers. But I can imagine when you put me on top of it, I for sure will die when I fall down. But no, but of course, TUL, maybe the question is also TUL. Do you have traditional sports or typical authentic Finnish sports?
Do you, Riku, want to answer?
Yes, please.
We have a kind of Finnish baseball, but I don't know, is it really TUL game? But I think that unihockey, it is kind of indoor ice hockey kind of game. In Austria, play unihockey. Am I correct? So it's basically from Sweden, but big game here in Nordic countries. Maybe that one and Finnish baseball. I don't know, Taija, if you have something else in your mind? In Pohjanmaa, you wrestle much, but CSID has a wrestle games there.
Mm. Yes, but it's not played on ice.
Yeah.
No, eh?
We can't bring ice anymore from Nordic countries to south because we don't have it. Yeah.
You don't have it anymore.
No.
Oh, okay.
Skiing.
Skiing.
Cross country skiing.
We have.
Well, what about the guys who didn't say anything yet? I don't know, like Paula, Remi, Kunar, Zrinka. You have any questions? You have the opportunity to have Hank and Wolfgang here. I don't know, anything. Don't be shy. Okay, cringe moment. Never mind. Do you have any questions to ask to the participants, Hank, or Wolfgang as well? Anything you'd like to know about them? I don't know.
Well, I just pick out a name from Kalev, Kunar.
Yeah, yes, please.
What was your idea about demonstrative sports? Because it is a totally term, but what was your idea? Kunar, please take the floor.
I think that
not here.
He left.
Okay. Another pick, Hank, please.
Paula.
Paula, please.
Hi. So I didn't have actually any question because I think that a lot of things were said and I have like to elaborate them for having any question. I don't know why. And anyway, I think that this thing of demonstrative sports it's really interesting, and it would be beautiful if every country could get its own sports to get shown to the others. And I think that if we go to see in every country, every city, everywhere, we can find something that only they have it there. So I think that in every single place there is something really unique, and that would be really great to share it with all the others in some way. I know it's actually impossible because it would be really a lot of stuff, but that would be really great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Paula, that's very good. It could be, for instance, a task to the host of the games to present a traditional sport from the region or from Italy, which is not known outside Italy. And of course, you introduce Sandbasket, yes. And I think you have to talk with Francesco, yes, because I really think this is a possibility to extend the disciplines in the Technical Commission basketball. And of course, I really hope to see it in June during the World Sport Games, that they really see, oh, that's very nice to play, and even with I can try it, but I'm not a basketball player. I'm also my background is also martial arts, but of course I really like to try it and to see how difficult it is. Or because I think as an old man knowing everything, I can do everything, but I have to go back to my basic and see that I'm clumsy and cannot play any basketball and not a descent. So this is also my experience of a new demonstrative sports. So this could be something for IHCS to present it during the World Sport Games. Just an idea, but think about it.
Yes, I've already proposed to Gianpaolo to have a demonstrative.
Anu, it's okay. Thank you.
Ciao, Roberto.
Ciao,
Roberto, our technical assistant. Nevertheless, yes, we will have to see if if it is possible to do it, but we will work on it.
Yeah, so I think that it can be material for AICS future project ideas. And so I think that this step of our agenda is closed. And because as you see, we are all here again. So now, from the planned agenda, we have some delay. That is almost 10 minutes, I think. So if you agree, I will change a little bit the agenda because we have planned to have national groups at the moment in which they can collect all the information, they get it. But I think that we can do through the peer leaders, the peer trainers, sorry, that can do a sort of summary of what the group they managed, what is emerged from the group they managed, so that we can share with everyone. And then if the other one from the other groups want to add something, can do. Also, it's requested to do, to participate. Everyone has to participate, opening the microphone and adding something. Now, all this information we get, and now I go to share my screen a little bit. All the information we get are useful if we are able now to start to collecting in topics that will be the chapters, let's say like this, the insights that we are going to use when we are going to write our future project ideas in these two fields. So let's try, peer trainers, to summarize what emerged from the groups according to these main topics, and to see if something else emerged, so that we can offer a structured structured presentation of what emerged in the groups.
Okay.
So we want to start.
Shall I go first?
Yeah, Francesco.
Okay. Well, the two different groups had different topics, let's say. On one side, we talked about sport and disability. In that case, obviously, the target group are all disabled people. And we also tried to think about how to engage these people, which Yoram said it's kind of a challenge to gather information about these people and engage them into sports. He said that, for example, in Israel, municipalities give a hand on this side because they help you to reach out to people. It's obviously, that is the target group. For what is regarding the goals, I think that the goal is the inclusion with non-disabled people, as that is one of the keys that he pointed out, as well as George said. Well, it is important to treat them like normal people, and once you figure out that you have to behave like they were normal-bodied, then you can work on it. And the inclusion, like creating a connection, like with tandem sports and other things with normal people, it's important to engage them and to give them an extra value. Attractiveness, obviously sports that can be fun and quite easy for them to participate in, like the examples were tandem bicycle with a normal-bodied person and a disabled one, and like tandem running for blind people with someone who can see and someone who cannot. Sustainability, well, that is like by gathering feedbacks from these people. Yoram suggested each 3 months you can know if you're going the right way or not, and then you can keep working to make this sport grow every day. For what is regarding like innovative sports, I'd say target group, it's anybody. Anybody who wants to join a sport or try something new is very welcome. For what is regarding goals, the goal is to find new sports that can be included in CSIT or that can create inclusion in people and that can be an opportunity to do sports. Attractiveness, well, this one of the key points I think is that it has to be accessible for anybody. If it is easy to do and it is something new like beach sports that people seem to enjoy pretty much, is very welcome. For what is regarding sustainability, well, in this sense, I don't think we had a real discussion about sustainability as they are new sports, but if you can create like a package of starting people that can spread the news, I think it's going to be a good way to kick off a sport and make it known to anybody.
Thank you, Francesco. So from the other group, if Mick or Alba.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
So yeah, well, Francesco did a really good job covering all the topics. We had similar conversations with each senior leader, but I think I can add something here that our group discussed. So about innovative sports, well, and about attractiveness. So one of the ideas is that this new demonstrative sport should be advertised through member organizations, and about the sustainability that, well, as Hank said, that if the demonstrative sport isn't, well, attractive, then you have to figure out something new that is more attractive and will get more people involved. And always a good job or good thing to do is ask if the person was happy with the sports, ask him or her to bring a friend next time to the training. So that was one of the things. And about the innovative sports, disability sports. Well, we had an example, well, in Estonia, for example, I know we have to separate para-athletes and athletes with disability, but it was good that in Estonia, these para-athletes can compete in national championships with the other athletes. I think this was something that maybe in Estonia is unique, maybe not. But yeah, this is what we have here in Estonia. And yeah, maybe someone else from our group would like to add something that I missed.
You did perfect, Nick.
Thank you, John.
Too easy like this. Please don't be shy and add what you have listened.
I can say something. Yeah. I think that George says something that we can make trainings together with special sports or special needs and normal sports. And when they train together, they can see each other and then feel that they are in the same level. I think that was one succession, and also, of course, what Mick said, that we can put in the same games, the games of disabilities and the normal, for example, in swimming.
Yeah, and someone else? Guys? Anyone? Alba and Taya? Because I think that maybe there are something else, maybe not.
No, as already has been said, I want to do trainings with people with disabilities and other people. You have to involve some experts that can help you and what are acceptable for people with disabilities and what is not, because we have not a lot of knowledge about their special needs, and it should be overthought, like detailed.
Thank you, Angelina.
And thanks, Mika and Francesco, because you were so clear, so I have nothing to add. I just collected some ideas what could be like demonstrative sports in the games, and there were some ideas about walking football and having beach wrestling or basketball during a beach festival, and I think that's a nice idea. And then there was also a talk of like that every country could like introduce their traditional sports to others. Yeah, thanks, nothing else.
Thank you, Taya.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt. I got an idea. Maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe we should have all these like main events like basketball, football, and volleyball. Like Taya said, that like walking, you don't need to run, you don't need to bounce the basketball, and for example, like in Mamanet, you don't have to like do the motion. You can just throw the ball. Maybe we should have all these simplified versions of some events, and I don't know, for me it seemed like not so complicated to teach also for the persons.
Yeah, and that will help also to reach one of the target group that it was highlighted as one of the most important to try to involve, that is senior. As Hank said in the meeting where I was, maybe to having simplified sports with simplified rules and without so much movement can help also elderly people to join that kind of sports.
Yes, exactly like that, because I'm a very active person, healthy and active person, but I really did enjoy Mamanet when we met. So I think it doesn't matter if it's complicated or not, you can still enjoy it, and I did enjoy Mamanet.
But to simplify sports is a very interesting idea. For instance, Mamanet. Here we are not only talking about elderly people. Yeah, here are restarting practicing people. In this case, mamas. After, let's say, 10 or 15 years doing no sports. Yeah, so maybe we can use this also for other kind of sports, to simplify and to bring people back again to sports and to participate at our games. And another, well, idea from my side or statement, sports for disabled people is very complicated. They have special needs and very complicated requirements. So this is, I think, always a challenge, and the idea to engage here a professional person, this is a very important factor, I think so.
Yeah.
I'd like to continue about that idea that when we simplify the sports, maybe we can do so in next World Sports Games. Maybe one day we can play beach basketball, and the players are whoever they want to be. So they can families play together, and then also the elderly people and young people together. So when it's easy and when it's not so quick, so everyone can play. And there is always the meaning that people can understand with whom they are playing. So they have to play in same level. So it's also very important to teach, for example, to me, myself, that you can play very hard if you play with children, and if you play with the better players, so you can do your best. So maybe something like this we can do it next summer.
An excellent idea, Mrs. Vice President. So really, I like this idea. For instance, MamaNet, let's play with the whole family, with the grandfather and the grandmother, with the kids. So everybody can participate and can be a team, for instance, or in athletics, a generations relay, yeah? Not 100 meters, just let's say 50 meters or 30 meters, yeah? So I like this idea and this approach.
Wolfgang,
Yeah.
as always, the best ideas are coming at the end of the meeting.
Exactly, with the alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be great to have a beer after this meeting, as usual in our CSIT meetings. But of course, we are forced to stay here, and maybe we can have a beer after the meeting by ourselves, thinking about the others. So, yeah, Mick.
Yeah, for the relay event in track and field, you can do like that. You have to run 100 meters minus your age. So the grandpa who's 70 years old has to run 30 meters and so on. So the 10-year-old children has to run 90 meters, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, so they are the first pillars in terms of project ideas that are coming out. So it means that this meeting and the intergenerational dialogue was fruitful. We listened also in a group in which I was, another kind of ideas for mixed sports. It was from Christian, I think, from HLA as an idea to mix different kind of sports. Of course, we have listened also what are the technical requirements. We have the video from Henk. Wolfgang gave us a lot of inputs, but also in disability, we heard how it is important to involve the target groups, to have partnership in order to get the target group of disability, to understand who they are, but also to have expert people that can help the organization to manage that kind of activity. So we had a lot of inputs and insights, I think. So, but before to give the floor to Anu for the conclusion, then I will, I can share with you an opportunity that we have from an organization with who CSIT is a partner. I would like to ask you if there is something else that you want to say or not. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So
Cosimo,
yeah.
0. Sorry.
Yeah.
I like this, as you have realized. I like this idea with the simplification of sports. Here we can involve not only the family, but maybe also disabled persons.
Yeah. So it can bring together both targets, so disabled and also the target for the innovative sports and the demonstrative sports.
I would like to add something on that.
Yeah,
I think okay, simplification can be a solution, and it should be, but also making adjustments in a way that other children, other people participate in the same time with children with disabilities would, I think, have even better impact than just simplifying the rules for them. I don't know, that's just my suggestion. Simplifying the rules will for sure make an improvement. It will make them easier to participate, yes, of course, but I think involving, let's say, peer trainers to participate with them and helping them through the activities will make a bit better impact. That's like I had that last tournament that we organized. We have that like inclusive handball, and it was easier for them to play when there were mixed teams with other children who weren't having any disabilities at all. So they were like, it was easier for them to pass the ball, to you know, to play defense, offense, and everything, because not because of simplifying the rules, but rather including other people to help them in the activities at the spot. That's just what I was like want to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Christian. Therefore, it's a pity that we had to cancel the games in Zagreb. So I had many talks with with Dario Jagic, for instance, about this topic, and I very much like this idea. Yeah. So you're right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Christian, you can bring in World Sport Games in Italy the ideas that you started to have for your World Sport Games in Croatia. Anything else?
Well, Cosimo, I would like to make a conclusion.
Yeah.
I'm really flattered about the ideas which are coming out of this group, and I'm very happy that we have a kind of event to do the trials, yes, to see what is possible. And well, really, the World Sport Games is even better than the Olympic Games, I think, because the Olympics is very strict on this is the regulations, and here we have the freedom to experiment with new sports, and I think this makes us really exceptional as an organization.
Yeah, Hank, you're right. We are completely free to innovate, to create, and of course we have not to move according strict rules, and so we can use also this project to bring out ideas and to use CSIT network and the CSIT event to practice it and to improve it. For example, in the chat, I saw that we have the new name for MamaNet, that is FamilyNet, from Riku. So we are going forward, and this is the way. So thank you, Hank. Before to leave the floor to Anu for the conclusion of this meeting, I only would like to share with you this event in which we were invited. As you see, the event is at last minute because it started today, but it will finish the 22nd of November. Is a virtual youth festival. Wolfgang, please tell me if I'm wrong. And it is United Through Sports, and it comes from GAISFA, that is one of the biggest organizations of the movement of the sport for all over the world. And CSIT is partner, and the president was invited to participate. And so on behalf of CIT, you are invited to participate to this event. I will send the email with the program. As you see, there are a lot of important speakers that is going to present all issues that are related, that are dealing with the youth in the world of sports. So it fits very well with our project. There are a lot of topics, clean sport, that are presented by VADA, that is the organization, the anti-doping. Is it right, Wolfgang? Yeah. And then Paralympic, so the other topic that you are talking about. And then there is also an opening conference, closing event, but we are going to talk also inclusivity, equality, and non-discrimination in sport. That are all issues that we are talking in this project, but are all issues that dealing with the Sport for All movement. So I will send you the email. The participation, of course, is for free. And so you are invited to participate to this event. Wolfgang, do you want to add something?
Yes, I just want to inform you, guys, this is highest level of world sports. Yeah, so this you can compare with the Youth Olympics. So there will be discussions with Thomas Bach and with Francesco Riccipitti, Summer Sports Olympics president, with GAIF president Raffaele Chiuli. So this is highest league, and we are very proud to have received this invitation. And also the founder of this festival, Mr. Stephen Fox, he is vice president in the IOC and in GAIFs, said, yes, of course, your young leaders should participate here. Yes and no. This is very short term. We have received this invitation, but well, I want to invite you to participate here and to make a click and go inside and hear this. I think this is quite interesting. Then you get more impression of the world of sports. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Wolfgang. I think it will be helpful also for our next activities, and also to create a network that can help you in the future also after the project and through this project to create your own path in your grassroots sport organization, national and international level. So I will send you the email, of course. So Anu, thank you for the conclusion.
Okay, at first I'd like to thank you everyone that you have been here and you have been active in these groups where we have had some discussion. And I think that there are some new ideas which are growing up and they will be ready for the next summer. And I think that we can visualize them and we can create something new to sports games in Italy next summer. But then I also promise to you that next time when we meet, we have some sports, because now we have forget it, and that's very serious problem for us, because sport is always the important thing what we have to do, but now we are just sitting here. But next time when we meet, I promise you some kind of sports here. We have some tasks to do, and in national groups you can create some more facts what we have talked in here, and also what Cosimo said, that after this meeting we have to do some report that we can put something to our last results when we stop this project, that we don't forget something. So let's do so. And now I think that the color of time is gray in our meeting, and also I can tell you that last Saturday was the celebration of this color in Finland. Maybe you know the drink called lonkero, which is made in Finland in our Olympic Games in 1952, and we celebrate this gray color, celebrated is the gray color in last Saturday. So gray is great color, my friends. So thank you for everyone.
Thank you, and see you in the next meeting in December. You will receive everything. Thank you for your participation. Thank you also Wolfgang, Henk, George, and Joram for being here with us. And bye-bye.
Ciao, bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, bye.
Ciao, Roberto.
Ciao.
Oja!
Hi,
What have I heard?
I fell with the bike 2 weeks ago, and my shoulder go away.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't see.
Roger.
Somebody told me about your plans on private level.
Plans?